So this is AC Starlord, aka Austin. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the background panel of Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman 1 and 2. As you can see here, they both have big giant swords. And this is still the Amazonian warrior. This is still the Amazonian warrior that you do know and love, except it's a little bit different, turned upside down. Uh, she does have Moana tattoo. She is from hell, where they want to do it. And they also put her in Gateway City, which is California Gateway City. And these monsters from hell come to terrorize the town, and she comes on her Pegasus and saves the day. And then the first issue is basically about uh she was on the Isle of Hell, basically, and then a angel from heaven came down, gave it to her mom, gave Diana to her mom, and that's why she like dies down here because it's hell. And she was basically he told them to survive, and she learned how to, cope. She learned how to cope with other animals like so snakes trying to bother her, lizards that spit out fire, and she learned different things in the Isle of Hell with her mother, growing up there. And then she is now a warrior, the warrior that we do know, Wonder Woman. And she is fighting for us as a hero, nonetheless, and taking down this big giant monster named Harbinger. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I just spelled it for you guys, so there you go. Um, then she fights this big giant monster, puts the lasso of truth on her, but puts the a lasso on here, and she was another panel talking to her mother about um the real world. I mean, talking about the world and stuff like that, and how she's a little bit different than everyone else. And then she puts, "My name is Diana." On the last Amazon daughter of the Circle Princess of Hell, Witch of the Wild Isle, and then basically puts her lasso of truth, but it's not really a lasso. It is a lasso, but not the lasso of truth around the monster. Sort of, it's more of a different type of lasso. But yeah, that's the first issue. The second issue, she's still in the city fighting this big giant monster, puts the lasso around him, and tells him not to come down in the city, come by in the city anymore. And then she meets up with Steve, as we know from the movies. And then um same kind of thing, how Steve got and lands on the island of Amazon, of the Amazonians, but it's the Isle. And then he's like, "Am I dead? No. Did I hear you talk Greek? Yes." But also no. She speaks different languages, and she basically has the same kind of interaction with Steve in the movies and the actual other comic book. And then that's a flashback when he was on the Isle of Hell, and then they meet each other up here in Gateway City, and then he basically takes her to the general. The general yells at her and saying, "Well, good thing you were here at this right time. The good thing you're here at the right time, but you can't be working by yourself here." Da da da. Wonder Woman doesn't really care. Wonder Woman does her own thing, from like even from the movie. She basically shows him a strategy. And then she feeds her Pegasus, and Steve asks, "What does the Pegasus eat?" Magic. One of the soldiers asked, "What does the Pegasus eat?" And what does your horse eat? Magic. Then they have a conversation with the Pegasus, and they're kind of like, having that flirty relationship. And then, of course, the ears start ringing, and they have a ears start ringing because a big giant monster comes on over the sea, and then she tells the general to evacuate all the people, and she has to fight this big giant monster at the very end of this. So these are very, it's a very cool and interesting story of Wonder Woman taking her to a different, taking her in a different route, taking her to a different like look, still the same person we know and love, even though we also had like the Rebirth storyline, which is also a different version of Wonder Woman, that we had a different version of Wonder Woman again. This all in series is great. I like Absolute Wonder Woman. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one out of absolutes. I love Absolute Superman and Absolute Batman a little bit more, but Wonder Woman has been getting a lot of good praise from other people. Wonder Woman's not my favorite character, by the way, of the DC and the DC world, but I mean, I like Wonder Woman nonetheless. I do love the movies. I do love this character, and she's a pride for any woman that's out there. And um, she fights for other women. She's a powerful, independent, strong woman, and she's for women. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's also for men too. Men love this character too. But this was made for women to have power and have to have power and be that you can also be a superhero just like all the men like Superman, Batman, and all this other stuff. But there's also other women in the DC universe, and she also started that whole trend for the DC universe. But taking her into a different route of her not being Amazonian, well, her being still Amazonian, but not from the island of Amazon, not the island of Amazon. Have her in the Isle of Hell, which is completely different. Having her in Hell is completely out of blue, and her wearing black and red, and still being the hero, carrying a big giant sword like she's in an anime, or um that one game that had sword fighting in it, Soul Calibur, having a big giant sword like she's in Soul Calibur was pretty cool. It's just a different look in the Wonder Woman story, and I like it. It's pretty cool. Um, I just don't, for me, it's not, I'm still gonna read the other five and see how they go, but it's not the strongest one for me. Other people said this was pretty strong, but I liked Batman and Superman more of the absolutes. But that's my opinion. And I have nothing against Wonder Woman. I do love the character and do love the stuff, but I don't always pick her comic books up. It's just they started out with these three characters, and I know they're going to do other characters. I found out they're going to do Absolute Green Lantern and Flash and stuff like that from another person I was looking for when I got these two comics. Well, mainly I put on hold the first issue here, and then I put on hold the first issue, and then I got the second issue. And then I was there while I was there, I might as well get the Absolute Batman. So yeah, which you will get a review of the part two of Superman and Batman as well video. So that's all I gotta say about this one. If you like this video, put a like, comment. That's all I have to say about this video. So if you like, comment, and subscribe with the notification bell, and let me know that you're here. And yeah, taking her in hell is interesting. I never thought they would do that. And it works for this story. It really does work for this absolute. So I can't say it doesn't. Where would you put Wonder Woman if she doesn't have that type of island? Put it on Mars, you put it on Jupiter, whatever you want to put her on, it's still gonna be Wonder Woman, it's still gonna be the same story. So yeah. Again, if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces.